Alright, happy New Year's, everyone. I guess for some of you, actually might even be the second by the time this video goes up, but for me, it's still the first, very fresh. 8 a.m. as you can see on the bottom right of my screen. But we're going to go ahead and do a couple of videos like these for the next few days, which is ranking all the 2023 Dokkan Festival TURs. I'm going to do LRs, you know. We're gonna go ahead and do banner units and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys have any ideas you want to see easy A's, like me ranking the past 2023 characters. This is gonna be basically an overview of 2023, of course, and we're gonna talk about these characters, where I think they may have failed in their designs, where I think they may have been really good, and you know what they should and should not bring into 2023 in terms of these characters, you know, being good or bad, right? Or even just balanced, right? So that's pretty much it. So we're gonna go ahead and do it like this, though. We're not gonna do like a top 10, but we're just gonna rank all of them in a tier list like this. Let me know if this is a format you guys prefer too. I like this format more than top 10, but I might still keep doing top 10 because I think people prefer top 10 likely, but we'll see at the bare minimum. So starting off here with the first Dokkanfest TUR 2023, which is the 17 and 17. So this character, I mean, a lot of people don't like this character. I don't really like this character either. I think we could all agree the 17, Super 17, you know, Dokkan Festival was not as strong as he should have been. Now, there are a couple issues with the 17. First and foremost, he wants to be facing an extreme superclass anime. I mean, they did give us the 8th anniversary event, but they kind of dropped the ball with the 8th anniversary like stage of the event, like the very final one, to where it's a countdown super attack, and it ends up just being very easy because you're not getting super attacked, unlike some of these really difficult red zone bosses, right? And because you're not able to get that additional attack, right, things aren't really looking too hot for this character. Then the biggest issue is I think this transformation condition is really unfavorable. 5 turns starting under 70% HP or less. I feel like, you know, it's like, this is not too bad to get in game, but I think this condition is way too large considering what this character wants to do when he transforms. When the 17 transforms, again, he gets, I think, pretty good reduction rate. You see 34% reduction plus another 17%. That adds up to 51% damage reduction, which I would say, I personally think that 51% damage reduction sounds pretty good. Now the issue is the fact that this character wants to receive 10 attacks for his max defense. I don't think he needs all 10 attacks, to be fair. Probably only needs about 5, but asking you to get a character on turn 5 potentially, and then he has to start receiving a bunch of attacks, I'm not really too sure. Another thing is this, yeah, I mean, this is funny. Medium chance to crit when there's a superclass enemy. He has this ability, which the issue with this ability here is the fact that since he does build up his defense quite fast and he does become tanky, because of the reduction, this number is too low, I guess, because he heals like 2k HP or something like that. Very, very worth this amount of HP. Because he's so tanky. So the key blast absorption are worthless. Again, this is like, you can receive the hit, but then you might not triple super. I don't know. This character was not enough. And I don't know, their looter skill was mediocre. They didn't really have partners. I wouldn't say they're necessarily bad on release, but they weren't what they should have been. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put them, I guess, maybe an A. I don't think they were a terrible release. Like, you know, you could still take them into some like Dismal Future Red Zone stages in their base form, because they do build up dodge chance here, which I think is pretty interesting. We're gonna talk about good things about this character. I like the dodge chance, where they're gonna get, what is that? I mean, it's only like 34%, but if you get that additional, they can get a pretty good dodge chance, like the hidden potentials with someone. Their stats usually enough to eat normals at the beginning of fights, I think. So I think, considering like their links and everything, I don't think they're a terrible option. A sounds funny because it's like But it's like there's Z, S plus, S, A, B. Maybe I should make this B, C. Oh, let me change this. B, C, A, and then we'll get rid of this S plus, actually. Yes, be capitalized. Okay, hello? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think like a B tier at least. I don't know. I think they could still be a decent character. Like if we got an event where we could take advantage of this guy, because this guy's not bad even right now. I think it's a pretty decent character. Next we have God Goku, the next Dokkan Festival to release, and I'm just gonna put him in Z tier for releases. This God Goku is incredible. I mean, even like with animations, this guy is amazing, but like amazing leader skill. This, you know, he's stacking here, great super attack effect here. The thing about this guy is 6 orbs, and I feel like people like downplay the issues this guy can have with 6 orbs. I think that's true, but I think there's people who also maybe like are like, oh, 6 orbs are gonna kill this guy. It's like, it's not that bad. Again, you have like a lot of rainbow orb changers on the teams that he's on, which is a good thing. But on the teams that there's not rainbow orb changers, there could be some difficulties. However, it's very consistent for this guy to get his 6 orbs, I would say. And especially with the 6 orbs and the double super plus the guarding, and then he has 60% chance dodge. He's stacking, you know, he's pretty good, and he does do some pretty good damage, especially once this is built up here. This extra 50% attack actually does matter. You can see like a nice little boost from the extra 50% attack. He also has the active skill form, which no one really talks about. I think most of us consider keeping him in the Super Saiyan God Goku form, but at the end of fights, you could use this. He's stacking attack through the whole fight, so that does actually hit really hard. Then the Super Saiyan Goku has a 70% chance to dodge before attacking. And then he does like triple super still, potentially. So you could get to a situation where this character is able to really wipe the enemy out. Because this guy does hit harder than the physical God Goku. But this guy, likely I will... But when I'm using this guy, I never transform into Super Saiyan form. I always keep things safe. Unless it's like again, right at the end of the fight. One other fantastic thing about this character is that he's on so many teams, so he's influencing so many different setups. It's really, really good. This setup, like all these setups, I think, you know, at the bottom here, especially like Power Witches, Epic Fighters, Bottom Parent Child, Power Beyond Super Saiyan Battle of Fates, right? You know, we even have, again, Realm of Gods, Pure Saints, he leads Pure Saints, movie heroes, right? Could get a resurgence, I think, in 2024. So, I mean, yeah, hopefully Kamehameha gets a leader in 2024. That'd be pretty good. This character is definitely a Z tier release. Next we have Kale. Now, Kale, I think I might have to put like as a B release still. See, the issue with Kale, maybe I'll put her in A, because like I feel like Kale is a better release than the 17s, but this was not given the love it should have been. LRK and Khalifa could work in Omega, right? I think they could work in the Omega fight. I think that, you know, in some of the older Red Zones, LRK and Khalifa could work. And this character, again, when this character came out, there was no Dismal Future Red Zone. There was no Omega Shenron even. It was like Sin Shenron. And this character was able to work really well. But in terms of aging and how they supported her, they did an awful job. Universe 6 did not also get the love it needed. I mean, Universe 6 sucks. We never got like the LR hits. LR Kefla this year. I think there's a lot of potential for Kale this year, for sure. Very, very much potential for her. But as of right now, in terms of a 2023 release and how she did over 2023, it was not really that great. I think it was like she's still quite powerful, but I just feel like she didn't like. I mean, it's not even what I feel; it's what happened. She didn't get the love that she deserved. But Super Saiyan 2 Kale is just incredibly amazing. And it's like there are fights like Omega, especially, where you could see this, right? So I don't want to discount like Super Saiyan 2 Kale not existing at all. And I would say overall, like in terms of what she's doing, she's a lot stronger than what 17 is, especially in terms of her design. I think, you know, I mean, she's guarding here, multiplicative stats. She gets up to like 800k defense, triple supering, no quad supering even with the built-in crit here. She does like really good damage, like triple 10 to like 11 mil attack stats, given that she's raising her attack and defense here. I mean, transformation boost is not a bad team either. Like, she does lead transformation boost. There's a lot of good characters on here, but they really designed her a little too strictly, I think, with Universe 6. So that's the biggest issue. We'll talk about you in a second. So yeah, I think A. I can't put her in S, I think, so far. We'll see the list and we'll go off more based on that. Next we have 23rd World Tournament Goku. I think this guy is also Z. I think they did incredible with this character. I mean, this team is like insane. This is like he's like has the best leader skill of like any character here, pretty much. Yeah, I think he has the best leader skill for sure. Even over God Goku, by the way. I think his leader skill is definitely better than God Goku's. Earthbed Fighters is a really dumb team. This super attack effect could have been better, I guess, right? But the thing about this guy, when you get this passive off, it's really good. Really, really good. For a good part of 2023, this wasn't... Like, if you wanted to force it, I don't think it was too bad with the GT Duo. But right now that we have the Gohan and Piccolo character, that could very easily revive, I think. This is something you could see a lot more often. And you could get a team where this guy is, like, carrying... You know, you have Bulma on the team even. It's like, it's not even that he's carrying, because we have, like, Bulma on the team. Other really good, you know, 2023 characters that are on Earthbred Fighters. I mean, a lot of the characters on this list are even Earthbred Fighters, right? So, you could have run God Goku on the team if you wanted, right? So, I think that this 23rd World Tournament Goku is really good. My issue with this guy is standby skill. I think the standby skill... I don't know. I feel like it was too hard to get the condition. Because it has to be his 6th turn. Which is really annoying. And I don't know. I just like... 6 turns is a long time. Why do they have to wait 6 turns? I don't get it. Especially when his guard runs out. Like, the guaranteed guard he gets turn 1. Then after that's a high chance. He should have had this on like turn 4. Like turn 4 of the fight. And then that would be like... I mean, this guy would be so good. If this is the same, but the turn 4 standby mode where you could revive. And then keep in mind, one good thing about this character that, like, Omega didn't get a lot of these other characters is that it could be an ally's revival skill that's activated, which I really like, and they should bring that more into revival units where the ally's revival skill can activate it. So if you're running them as a leader, both the leaders end up getting the boost, right? It's such a good ability right there, which is maybe, I don't know, maybe they're like, yeah, this restriction is too tough, so we're gonna make it with an allies as well. Or maybe because they're like, oh, it's an allies, so we're gonna make this a little stricter, I guess. I don't know, because you could use like GT Duo and then later on Gohan and Piccolo. This revive skill, like standby mode though, is I think pretty good. Overall, he has the scouter, he's supporting, he... Obviously, just the finish skill actually does do some pretty decent damage. I wouldn't say it's anything great, but it's not the worst damage in the world. I like this guy. I think they did a good job with his design, and I think he's very interesting. Overall, I think he's quite powerful, so I like him. My Junior, again, another thing. I think they really killed it with the 23rd World Tournament characters. Amazing Supreme Duo. I don't know, like, if I have to really talk about My Junior, I don't think they did anything wrong with him either. I mean, they did just good. They made him just insanely busted. They give him a giant form right here, which can cancel out enemy super attacks and AoEs if you get that off. I think he has a pretty good leader skill for villains overall. Like, it could be, I guess, better. I mean, instead of Gifted Warriors, could they have given him, like, Revenge? Ooh, imagine he had, like, Revenge as a leader skill over Gifted Warriors. Like, you can get a lot of these extra villain characters on here, like Cells... Or, I guess, Metal Coolers would actually fit this team as well. I guess Metal Coolers already fit Terrifying Conquerors already. Like, a lot of characters here do fit Terrifying Conquerors already, but... which he does lead. I guess, yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe Target Goku would have been good. Worldwide Chaos still. Could have been interesting, right? Maybe a different team than Gifted Warriors. Because Gifted Warriors is just like the Piccolo stuff, though. I guess Gifted Warriors is the reason why. No, well, Orange Piccolo would be in a team anyways because he leads Giant Form, right? I guess they wanted to get some of these other Piccolos on the team with him, which I think is fine. But this guy doesn't really have like Namekian links. Like he doesn't have like Namekians, like the actual Namekians link itself. Like there's a link called Namekians, he doesn't have it. So I don't think it really matters that the other Piccolos are not on his teams. You want a lot of villains, like Thirst for Conquest, Tough as Nails. A lot of villains even have Tough as Nails, but Big Bad Boss is obviously incredible. This guy's good. Active skill, so good, especially World Tournament. I love using that World Tournament, but this active skill could allow him to like get like his god mode where you use it in slot 2 and then put him in slot 1 and he just cooks, right? It's beautiful, beautiful. Definitely Z tier. Excuse me. Turles. Turles. How should I rank you, Turles? I think I'm gonna rank you in B tier or an A tier. I think I'm gonna put you in A tier actually. Over the 17s. I think Turles can cook a little more than 17s, and maybe it's because he's also a physical character. Physical characters have an advantage right now, I think, in the game. But I'm not really sure if that's necessarily the case. I think Turles, he could cook. He could actually cook if you give him the leg room. I think he's able to do what he could do quite decently, right? And over time, in a longer battle, especially like if you do take in this guy against Omega, and you're able to keep him safe against the STR one, like the STR phase in the middle, this guy, you know, he does really good damage. He becomes super effective right here, so it attacks effective against all types, and then he could do another additional, so he could quad super effective against all types, doing like 10 mil attack stats. Like, let's say, the thing is, like, that's like turn, like the end of turn 5, turn 7-ish, beyond, right? The thing I don't like about this character is that they give him a lot of like these, I think, unnecessary restrictions, which there are restrictions that I think are fine, but like they just tackled a bunch of them on this character. I mean, his intro condition is like unobtainable in like actual difficult contents. This 50% HP restriction for the additional and extra attack, I don't think needed to be there. It's almost like they think this activates mid-turn, but it does not. So because of that, like he could just miss out on an additional building up if you enter the turn with him with this team under 50% HP, which not necessarily the greatest team ever to do that. To be consistent, he wants to super attack a lot, which is very funny. He's like, well, if I'm not consistent with my key on these villain teams, which I share no key links with these villains, because I don't have my support up ever, how is he supposed to super attack? Like, I've had issues with this guy's key struggles. I think this is dumb. Just give him 3 key start of turn, like, and then he's like a billion times better. This could have been higher, but then that's really it. I mean, it's like you could look at it's like minimum changes that do matter a lot, but because it's like not really that big of a deal. Like, overall, everything I said is not like, except for the intro. Because if you have double Turles, this could be extreme class at least 16, 36% attack for both Turleses. Would be insane. I think they should have expanded this somehow. Or just make it like if the entire team is extreme class. Or if there's like, I don't know. If there's like 4 or more Terrifying Conquerors allies on the team even, or if there's like a full Terrifying Conquerors team, or there's like 4 or more, I think would be fine, because like the other Crusher Core, right? I think that would be fine. And then maybe if he's just facing a Goku family enemy, that could be whatever, like whatever. But besides that, I think Turles overall is a decent character, a decent Dokkanfest release. Active skill hits pretty hard. Like, he's not like bad obviously for like a release compared to others, but I don't know. I think I'm a little favorable towards him compared to some of the other releases that we've seen. Just like the next one, this guy I think was a, I don't know, C. He's better than the 17s. Maybe I'll do this. Yeah, I might do that actually. Trunks. I mean, leader skill sucks. I think. Sorry, it just This is too much. I think this is a success. Like, really. So, I don't know if I should put him... Maybe I could put him higher, but I just... Whew, this ability really, for me, hurts him really badly. I just don't know why he's so... It's like, it's dumb design. He's so restricted that he... It's like, these restricted characters, like... 17s are kind of just like, I don't know, I guess... Their stats are decent, but they're nothing crazy. But they have a super restriction. This guy has a terrible restriction. This character's restriction is not that bad. But it's like still there. Turles doesn't... I guess he has a super restriction too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Turles here. I think it's Trunks under them. I think it's fair. But above the 17s, I'm thinking... I don't know. He's just weak. High chance to die in a lot of scenarios, and then especially if he doesn't get this off, which is like a great chance to be super attack. It's like, that's awesome. He's on so many teams, but he's limited to like, I don't know, like 3 of them. Sure, just to be fair, it's like Future Saga team is stupid powerful, but like, you know, Earthbraid fighters, I'm not seeing a situation where you could get that, like, maybe, but like you have to kind of bend the team around. Power Beyond Super Saiyan, no, that's not a team you could use him on. Transformation Boost is not a team you could use him on. Full Power Super Saiyan for Goku's team is not a team you could use him on. Like, there's a lot of these teams. Bottom Master and Disciple, actually, I do think that's a team you can use this character on, because like you'll run LR Future Gohan, you'll run into Future Gohan like on that team, I think. So there are characters here, but like, what's the third Android Soul Socket character you'd run that's Bottom Master Disciple? You have to run like Int LR Gohan, right? Like, Int LR Gohan is like the third character you'd run, which he's not a bad option for sure, but it's like, you know, it's like you have to, that team at that point is like struggling with HP conditions, because this character, he also gets this turn 3 active. Again, he wants to be above 60% HP. I think being below HP is a lot more consistent. And then even the Ghost Usher that he gets when he's like Super Trunks, he wants to be above 60% HP. And there's times where I'm not able to get the Ghost Usher because I get super attacked the turn before he transforms. Like, and then I'm like under 60% HP. And then, you know, it's like, I mean, if you're using items with this guy, congrats. But this is me ranking him without items and just his design. And they know how hard these bosses hit, right? You know, maybe this character is a character that designed with the, like, oh, you use a sensor beam with this guy. It's like, sure, you know, we could do that, but it's like his design, like, there's characters that don't need items that stand really strong with their designs, and there's characters like, I feel like I need a sensor beam with me, you know. But you know, when you do that, he's very powerful, but you know, it's like every character in this list, if we're talking about items, they all could belong in Z tier at this point. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah. Super Trunks, like, this guy is amazing, but I think they did a real imbalance with this character. This should have been guaranteed. I'm fine with the restriction if this was all guaranteed, but it's a restriction with like chances, which is like, it's a really tough restriction with chances. It's really dumb. And then maybe for this character, like, again, make this like 100% or something like that, or make this like 50% even. This would be a much bigger change, but like something like that. I guess it would be the same change maybe, but something like that, because this guy's so good and this guy's so bad. But if they're like evened out, where it's like this guy's consistently a decent character, this guy's like a little worse but still really good, he has a Ghost Usher, he would be like up here at least S, but no, he's B because they made him too weak in his base form. And like having an imbalance of characters between their base and transform state, especially when you see this guy turn 5 for the most part, it's like you're stuck with this character until turn 5. And sometimes, like, the fight ends and you can't see this guy transform, you know? It's like, why'd I bring him? You know, so dumb. The androids, I think, honestly, I would say their design is low-key worse than Trunks's. Because at least Trunks, the characters with him right now, like, work really well with his trunks. Like, again, future Gohans, especially Joel Gohan, they work really well with him. I don't know. I just feel like we just, like, didn't, like, as a community, a lot of people did not think about how stupid this is. Like, again, we know that we're like, oh, Goku's not that bad, like, as a condition, which is true, because there's a lot of Gokus around. But you just, like, the representatives of Universe 17 / you know, Tournament of Power team is, like, probably in the worst state, like, it's been ever. Like, could I say that? Like, it's the worst, it's in the worst spot it's been, like, in the game's, like, history from it being released. I mean, Tournament of Power, when did this category even release? That's the link. This is the Universe Rivals. Like, when did this category even release? So the first leader for this, because the category released before the leader came out, huh? Like, let me, like, when did this come out, I guess? Like, okay, let's say 2017, right? This category came out. Yeah, maybe, like, you could argue, like, I don't know, 2019, it was not really that fantastic. 2020, I think they really built up the team a lot. But even 2019 wasn't, like, the worst ever. You know, this, especially with, because there's the power crease jump. There's a power crease jump, which hurt this team a lot, right? The power creep jump for the 7th anniversary, and it's kept going, and this team hasn't gone anything. Like, literally, this team is, like, in the worst spot that it's been. Like, tournament power, well, this is tournament participants, but you guys get the point. So this character wanting a Goku on rotation. This support buff is really good, but they also suck against AoEs. They're the first of many characters who it's like, I mean, no other character except for the 17s really. I mean, I guess you do. Like, these characters do get defensive abilities when they're attacking, but it's like so many characters, like, against these AoEs, yeah, even these two, like, against Sin, get, like, these defensive abilities only after they attack. And it's like, I think that's really dumb. There's ways to work around that to where it's not like, oh, you literally just can't use them in Omega or Fusions of Masu. At least Starless has type advantage, right? This character has orb restriction, which, to be fair, they're rainbow orb changing. I found issues though. Their team is so slow that this runs out, like, I think pretty commonly, and then it's like you're stuck without a rainbow orb changer, and then they can't get their full support. They can't, you know, get some of these extra abilities. They have the Scouter and the 59% attack with Goku. It's like, but the issue is that they want to be around with the androids because they have android result to Terra, infinite energy, shocking speed. In a sense, like, Goku doesn't have these links. Like, maybe shocking speed, tournament power, fierce battle, like a UI Goku 9th anniversary. Let's say that. But in essence, this design is dumb, and they never buffed the category. So in 2023, this character is a terrible awful release. One of the worst releases, actually. And it's like, I would honestly say they're probably a worse release than Super Trunks. Yeah, I think I would say there are worse release than Super Trunks. Just, yep. I think I would. I feel confident saying that, really looking at it. Yep. Poor 17 and 18. I think this character is, like, going under the radar, like, at how bad they actually are. But I think Super Trunks, there's at least places for this guy. Like, it's like a home for this character under the Future Gohan team, bare minimum. LR Future Gohan's team, he has a home. He has a shelter. This character has nothing. Let's move on to something nicer. Gohan and Piccolo. I think Gohan and Piccolo actually, they got a lot of bad rep. I don't know why they got a lot of bad rep, but they did. There's definitely issues with this form right here. I think the major issue is that his reduction, he could lose it mid-turn. I think that's really dumb. I think it should have been his reduction just as either active, like for the rest of the turn when he's above 70% HP, or it's not active. Because the thing about the reduction is that it's like they designed it where it's like, okay, you're above 70%, you have the reduction, you're under, you revive, but you could enter the turn above 70% HP. And how it's worded, since it's specifically when receiving an attack as his first or second attacker in the turn, the wiki doesn't have it up like that. But, like, let me show y'all. It's specifically when this character receives an attack in slot 1 or 2, is how I believe it is worded. And we can even take a look here at the Dokkan Wiki, which this Dokkan Wiki doesn't have it listed, but this like Dokkan Wiki here, you see, if your HP is 70% or higher when you receive the first, like, an attack in the first or second slot. This is when you're receiving the attack. So that's why it could theoretically, if you, well, it's not theoretically. What happens is you fall under 70% HP in slot 1, and this character doesn't get attacked until after that. They actually don't get the damage reduction because they have to receive an attack above 70% HP. Now, as long as you get that attack, that does stay for the rest of the turn, the reduction, even if you fall under 70% after. But because of this, I think it's really dumb because, like, you can't gain the ability to revive mid-turn. Like, this character, you're under 7% HP at the start of turn or not, then you have the revive chance. Maybe it's a situation where, oh, maybe I want to save the revive chance, you know, keep the supporting abilities. And I think that's fair. But the support is so stupidly busted. If you're able to keep that, like, if you're able to keep this support buff up, it's, like, so absolutely insane. And there's team builds we can. I mean, Bottom Master and Disciple, again, a really good leader squad, actually, right now. I think they did a fantastic job buffing this team. Again, the future Gohans, future Trunkses, Orange Piccolo, even Vegeta Trunks can be a decent character here. Beerus is a character you could use here in there's one future red zones, right? Physical Piccolo, Guas, Samasu. Like, there's good characters here. Pretty good characters here. 100%. I think that the only thing about this character is that when they do revive, they exchange it to this Gohan, which is really good. This Gohan's absolutely insane. He does want a Goku, though. So I actually have found that this character is better on, like, Earthbred fighters. But, you could get a Goku on the team. Saiyan Saga has Goku Piccolo. People do use this character. And since Bottom Master Disciple is such a good team, when you have all this, like, extra support, you have, like, if you're floating both the Gohans, you have, like, 60% floating support. This character is, like, not actually the worst, which is really funny. Because they have this 50% defense buff, 300% defense out of turn, they're guarding, right? It's not like the worst. Like, you can win fights, especially because a lot of these fights are in fights, right? Especially that too. And then with the buff of the guard thing, this character actually does get an extra turn of guard right here. So it's like you could run out of these 5 turns of guard, and then, like, if you reach turn 7, you could get here, or like at the end of the fight, you can get this Piccolo out, and then he hits pretty dang hard right at the end. He has notifications and everything. Yeah, I think this Gohan, really good unit though, really good release. And then obviously, like, the big attack right here is so good. He heals you 70% HP with the revive. This guaranteed dodge is insane. I like this guy quite a bit. I think he's a much better release than a lot of these characters because I think he has a clear design, role, and purpose, and I think fulfills it for the most part pretty nice. Next we have Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I put him on the list anyways. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna put him with banner units. Like I did it 2023 Heroes tier list already, so I think I'm just gonna put him here. And then with banner units, I'll put like Dark Mask, not Dark Mask, Saiyan. I'll put like the Imp Broly on there. The Blue Vegeta, Fu will be on the list because Fu actually awakens with 23 medals only, right? But like for banner units, easy A's, maybe easy A banner units. I guess maybe I'll have Dark Masking there, Toa, something like that. But Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, I mean, he's absolutely incredible. 60% reduction, triple super, you're doing like triple like 13 to 15 mil attack stats, even higher. I've seen from that guy even. He is restricted to Giant Power crossover, but as like crossover is a pretty strong team right now. He leads Dragon Ball Heroes, which is actually one of the better teams in the game right now, right? There's a lot of strong options on the Dragon Ball Heroes team, which is fantastic. He has this beautiful linking partner in Easy Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, which this guy was actually really good as well. And this character, and again, that turn 3 active especially, I think this is a major thing. This turn 3 active skill, where he does an incredible damaging attack, and then he becomes guaranteed crits for the turn, and then he just follows up with a triple super, like with Easy Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Like I had situations where I had Easy A Physical Vegito, Inch Toa. They're on the same turn. This guy hits like 17 mil. I'm like, okay, pretty good. I think he has a pretty nice link set overall, but he also does give himself a lot of key 3 for a TUR. I think is really good. I mean, one thing I would do about him, I would still give him a defense raise with the turn, but he doesn't need it at all. If he had a defense raise with the turn, I mean, he's already eating every super attack in the game for like under 300k damage for the most part. So like if you had a defense raise that like you could like using him, I could see why they didn't give him the defense raise. But yeah, this guy is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting character of a release. I'm actually gonna put this Crimson Messine. I don't know. Do I put him in S? I think he's better than a lot of the Dokkanfest TURs that released this year. I mean, what if I move these two down and put Rose here? Let me think about it. I think this guy is good, and I think he got bad rep as well. I think that especially in Omega, this guy's pretty good. I think a lot of people don't have Omega, which is an issue. My issue with this guy is that he has, again, another Goku restriction. And then this restriction is so dumb. You want to be fighting a Super Saiyan God SS enemy. Like, you're not going to see that. But at least he has the additional that has a high chance to become a super. He's guarding. After this guy super attacks, he's able to eat any super attack in the game very comfortably. His base form, again, doesn't really do a lot in terms of damage or anything else. He's, like, very much just a tanking character. He is a heroes leader, though, right? So that's really good. You could just throw him on the heroes team. I guess another issue is that this guy wants crossover category allies, but it's like he wants to be used with, like, these, like, you know, Zamasu characters. Him not having big wet bosses, like, yeah, I'm talking about him more and more. I'm like, this guy has a lot of flaws in his design. This HP recovery, though, I love this HP recovery. 40% is so good. Like, especially near the end of fight, where it's like, okay, these bosses hit so hard. I think HP recovery is something that even near the end of fights could work really well on, like, turn 4. Or, this guy transforms actually turn 5. So, like, a turn 5, 40% heal. Where you're like, okay, I could win if the boss doesn't super me at the beginning because I'm, like, at 300 HP. But then this guy comes in and he heals you 40% HP. It's like, okay, no, I'm safe now because I got healed 40% HP, almost half my health. Insane, right? And he's like negates basically the super attack you took last turn, I feel like, in a lot of situations, which is massive. I like this guy, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of I'm gonna put him here. I think I'm gonna keep him here because I like him better than Kale and like Turles in terms of design. But I think like I want to pick a little bit, but I don't think it's like where it's like I want to separate them. Maybe I think that's fine. Oh, so this guy again, he's another character that awakens with 77 medals. So that's why I have him here. Yeah, there's EC, like characters that awaken with the 77 medals. Like he has like I consider him a Dokkanfest, like just like Vegito. Like we take a look here. These guys awaken 77 medals. You see this character awakens with 35 medals, right? Which are usually banner units. Next we have Android 21. I think I'm gonna put Android 21 here. I think she's good. The biggest issue with 21 is the fact that she gets her dodge and super, which makes her bad for Fusion Zamasu. That's for sure. I think she's not good enough in Fusion Zamasu overall as a character. Maybe if you're running one of her, just one of her on a team, you can get things to work out. But 2 Android 21s against Fusion Zamasu is a very difficult fight. Not that you can't like get in a lot and run with that, but it would be very hard. Let's see. Besides that, though, I think I like her. She's very interesting. She's supporting key. I think it's like a nice little just effect there. Like, I'll definitely take it. You know, after she attacks, her defense gets pretty good, like defense levels, and then she has the high chance to dodge the super as well. Just like super attacks and attacks in general. I like the disable action. I think that could be really interesting. And if you keep her untransformed, she has like a 70% chance to crit there, which I think is also really good. I like her. I like her. Turn 1, she can quad super and do some actually pretty decent damage. Nothing special. This, I think, sucks because it's like you get this off if she dodges at the end of the turn, and then she gets it for next turn. But I think she would have really benefited from having this like early on, or just like I don't know, another way to get this, maybe when collecting 3 key spheres or something. Because with 21, I think that we want the damage burst early on. I think in this team, this Android team wants a little bit of a damage burst early on, because a lot of this team is like support characters, and this 21's kind of like, you know, besides like we need like a hard hitting character for this Androids team. I think is the only issue. By the way, her team is really good. She has Bulma on there, and then I think there's a lot of good Androids. Android 13, I think, works pretty good in this team still. We had the Gammas, MVP 17, Evil 21's really good. You know, Physical Android ZZA was fantastic. So this Android team is, I think, good overall, which is nice. And she works really well with the Android team, so that's a thing. Like, again, comparing to other characters, I feel like, you know, like these guys don't really work well with the team. These guys were overall underpowered, a little hard to use. Like, you know, these characters work well with the team. This character does too, but like, I think it's nice. She's able to blend in a lot easier still, and her transformation is insanely powerful. I would personally have her like above here. Her transformed state is so nasty. It's really good. There's so much healing going on. The reduction I have found is actually enough once she super attacks. Oh, against Omega Shenron and AoE, she's able to handle herself quite well, and she heals so much like HP that, you know, you're able to be good set up for the next turn, which I think is something that people don't really talk about. This active skill, disabling the enemy action, is really good. I think she's a very strong Omega fight character that people don't really. I feel like people don't really consider Omega. I don't know. This character is insane in Omega Shenron especially, but even in like any other Dismal Future fight besides Fusions of Moss, you see Cooks really well in, and I feel like that matters quite a bit. It just sucks that her dodge isn't start of turn, or she'd actually be pretty good in Fusions of Moss too. I think overall, not the best option, but she would be a lot more runnable there. All right, next we have Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Rudagard. I'm just gonna put them at the top here. I think they also were pretty good releases overall. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I mean, if you guys, I'm not. They're very recent, so I'll talk about them. But if you want more in depth, I mean, talking about them, I think the actual top 10 tier list video for the end of 2021, you should 2023, not 2021. You should go check that out. 40-minute video. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, this guy right here, 70% chance to dodge. And slot 2 or 3 is really good. Good leader skill, I think, overall. Good super attack effect. He's just very nice and easy. I think I like about this guy. He's no restrictions besides just being put in slot 2. It's like you put him in slot 2. He does a 15 mil attack stat. You could potentially do like a 20 mil attack stat guarantee crit if you're under 59% HP. But it's like that's not really difficult. And because that can be at any time, right? It could happen. It may or may not happen. But even without it, it's like, it's not a necessity, right? I think he has a 70% chance to dodge. He gets like 800k defense plus at 3 supers. Powerful, really good. The Dokkanfest mode, I actually do like. You could activate it. There's one thing I don't like about it though, and it's the fact that you could still die. I feel like most other standby skills, you could die. Well, you can't die, right? But like, I guess you technically could, but it's like a lot harder. Like Goku and Vegeta. From the 8th anniversary, the Dragon Ball Z duo, they're like basically invincible. They get reduction, they're guarding, they had stacked defense. Oob is basically invincible, guarding damage reduction, right? Let's see, 23rd World Tournament Goku, GT duo are both revive standbys, right? So like, literally, you don't die with them. Well, you die with them, and then they're supposed to die, then they revive, right? So you don't die technically. Who else is a standby character? Sword of Hope Trunks is like invincible unless you don't put him in slot 1, I guess, you know. But you're supposed to put him in slot 1. He's a slot 1 character. So even without slot 1, he still has his guard, right? So I don't know. He just gets the 50% reduction and he's invincible when he's in slot 1. I find it interesting though. I think the finish skill effect, once you get that off, the super attack countered, you guarantee dodge for the rest of the fight. He's supporting all his defense. And then he hits pretty hard. I think the Dragon Fist does do really good damage. So overall, this guy is pretty good. Rudagard, he needs help. Like his team needs help, But as a character, he's really good. Really, really, really good. And I think that, you know, he has a little bit more setup. Like, he's way more setup than, like, Universe 6 is, right? Or Tournament Participants, right? I think those seems, like, this movie boss, the Resurrect Warriors seems not that bad. You can run him on, like, the Dragon Ball Heroes team, with Hard as leader even. Like, there's a bunch of other setups you can use this guy. Fusions and Monsters team, you could use this character in. I mean, Transform to Rudigarden is, like, almost, like, the best unit in the game. Could you argue him as the best unit in the game? You could very easily argue this guy, Transform Rudigarden, as the best character in the game. With the guaranteed dodging and everything they can get right here. I think that's a really good mechanic. I like this quite a lot. Like, I guess it technically with like 70% chance, and then you get rewarded for him dodging by getting guaranteed dodge next turn. I like that. I think overall I do like that. Even pre-transform Rudigarden, his defense gets to pretty good numbers. And he still has a 70% dodge chance. He can triple super, do good damage. I mean, transform Rudigarden, keep in mind, he's also like triple supering, and he's doing like 14 mil attack stats, high chance to crit built in. Active skill conditions not too hard. Same for him and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Their active skill conditions, I think, again, are pretty easy. 70% third turn. It's good. It's really good. 70% HP, I think, is a good number for a restriction if you wanted to add one. But that is all the 2023 Dokkanfest's new characters that released this year. I'm not missing anyone from what I'm taking a look here. Just scanning through here, checking the new Dokkanfest TUR releases, and nope, we got everyone. So that is this list here. I'm thinking something like this, roughly. Maybe move Turles down, maybe move Trunks up. Like, should I move Trunks up? You know what? I think we'll do this. We'll do this. This is probably better, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, whatever. I mean, Trunks is definitely at the back, but yeah, we'll just do this. Let's just get rid of this. I think this is better fitting. So, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.